Final minute. Bennett from the pocket. Launches to the end zone. Caught. Touchdown. A.D. Mitchell.
3rd and 10 from the 11. Travis under pressure, trying to escape. Able to escape. Turns the corner. Stays in back.
Gets to the end. Sullivan Hill will send the Dogs home. To the 30. 35. Yeah! Whitfield to the 50. To the 40. Whitfield to the 30. There's another first down.
Not dealing with much pressure at all when he does drop back to throw.
The play action. Bennett looks down the middle. McConkey's wide open. Touchdown, Dogs.
Alrighty. Let's get rid of that. What's going on, guys? It is
What's going on?
the Knowles and Dogs podcast. We are back for another episode here this week. Plenty of talk about, as always. I'm Hunter.
I'm Dylan.
Gotta be faster. Let's go.
No, I was just
Come
thinking
on.
about something. I was thinking.
Oh.
I was lost in thought.
Nope. Doesn't count. Come on.
Come on.
Anyway. Anyway, as Dylan regroups and hopefully gets better by next week, we have a cool little show for you today. We'll be doing some lists. That's what we'll probably be doing going forward more as we count down. We are on to college football. We are under triple digits, under 100 days, I should just say. It's easier to interpret.
Yeah.
How are we doing today, Dylan?
Oh, we're doing great.
This
You know,
evening.
it was a great day at work this morning. You know,
Yeah.
had a great time working with Hunter.
Oh, well, yeah, I was up there grinding away, as they say.
Yeah.
As you can see, I got my Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl
Nice,
shirt
nice.
on.
I got
You
my
know,
Jackie
got-
Robinson shirt on.
Got to represent, So that's a nice shirt right there. It's just not as cool.
Yeah,
as
I know. Right?
Yep.
Oh, come on.
Can we
Jackie.
all agree, though? Do you remember how bad the national title shirts looked?
I would say all the shirts from those games, I don't think look that good.
The Fiesta Bowl
Like this
one?
year's playoffs game.
Yeah, these ones, I didn't mind the semifinal ones just because, like, you're watching on YouTube, as you should.
Yeah.
You should be subscribing and
Yeah.
watching. We're up, guys. Come on, we're still at 40 subscribers, but
We're doing good. We're doing
we like the views, but we need some more subscribers, guys.
Yeah.
You can see it says Go Dogs, Peach
Mhm.
Bowl right there, and then an ATL. Great shirt, by the way. Anyway,
Nice.
all right. So we'll go through the rundown real quick. So 2 little college football news things, or items. My thoughts. Dylan could have some thoughts here.
Yep.
Some recent social media buzz over a other podcast where they slandered Sanford Stadium.
Yeah.
Can't take it. My thoughts on
Mhm.
that. We go through top 5 SEC, ACC, and Big Ten stadiums, our list. 5 quarterbacks that we're looking forward to seeing the most this
Mhm.
upcoming year. And as always, 3 questions to round it out. So without further ado, I think we can get started. How do I sound?
Yeah.
I sound good? My mic's
Oh,
a
you
little
sound
weak.
great. You sound great. I also have
Wonderful.
great news for you. Matt Olson just hit a solo shot,
Matty-O, I should get my jersey on, but we won't. We'll save that.
Do you have an Olson jersey?
I do.
Oh, good boy.
Dude, I got
That a man.
do I have an Olsen jersey? That's my guy.
Oh,
so,
man. He's
the
almost as
problem
good as
is-
Taylor Walls. He's almost as good as Taylor Walls.
No, you don't put Matt Olson and Taylor Walls in the same discussion together. Here's the issue, and I'm going to get off topic here.
Yeah.
The Braves bullpen is atrocious right now. So,
Mhm.
Take that for what it is. The Braves will be up big and blow it at some point. So,
The Braves and the Rays are not too different. Speaking of, get ready for the Rays and Braves podcast coming soon eventually.
July.
Yeah.
I will be out of town that week, so there will be no episode then. But
Yep.
that's not until July. So, anyway, we're getting off topic.
Yep.
Let's get rolling. So, quick little couple college football news items today.
Okay.
Actually, I can just pull it up on my phone. The Big Ten announced that Penn State and Michigan State.
Mhm.
Let me just find it. It'd be easier just to show on my phone or here. Stalling. All right, here we go. Penn State and Michigan State will be playing at Ford Field on. Jeez Louise, where is it? Hold on.
It's the Saturday after Thanksgiving. I know that.
No, it's not. I think it's on Friday.
Is it on Friday?
I think so. Hold on. Let me find it. Why can't I find this? I literally just saw this. Here. You know what? I can type in
Mm-hmm.
Josh Pate. Love Josh Pate, by the way, guys.
Oh,
If
yeah,
you guys
great guy.
don't,
Great
shout
guy.
out Josh Pate. I mean, we love Josh Pate.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. So, Friday, November 24th, 7:30 p.m., NBC, Peacock. Hop on the Peacock. That's not what I was going to say.
That was not where you were going there.
Ford Field, home of the Detroit Lions. Michigan State, Penn State will battle it out. That is Black Friday, folks. We are back. Also, quick nugget, the NFL, Jets, Dolphins that night as well.
And Florida State is also that night as well.
Look at that.
Yeah.
I thought that was on Saturday.
It used to be, but they're making it a Friday game now. It was on Friday last year too.
Okay. Anyway, so only news with that is pretty cool. I don't mind neutral site like that. But actually, the reason why I've heard, don't quote me on this. You might want to look this up.
Okay.
Excuse me. The reason why they're playing here was part of the deal because the Big Ten had been scrambling to get their teams. Apparently, they were signing off on these contracts without the team's approvals, these universities.
Yeah.
And so they were trying to backtrack it. And some of these teams like Penn State, I think Ohio State, Michigan, and Michigan State hadn't signed off and agreed on some of this stuff. So in order to kind of get through the weeds here, they agreed on this as a part of a settlement almost in a sense. That's as far as I know. But
so
yeah.
I believe you're right.
Yeah.
The only other thing I've heard is that it was partially done because they think it would bring in more fans.
Probably
just
too.
Because East Lansing, day after Thanksgiving, there's a lot of Michigan State students, fans, alumni in that Michigan, Detroit area.
Yeah.
So it's just a great opportunity for them, and the school makes a ton of money on national TV.
Yeah. The only issue is, because that's rivalry week.
Yep.
It's taking away from a home game, which would be senior day, I think. So unless you just move it up, I guess at that point.
I think they were going to move it up.
That's the only downside, I guess, if you're looking at tradition. Other than that, I mean, to
really be fair, though, Michigan State playing Penn State on rivalry weekend already is a little bit you know what I mean?
I don't know why. It's the only issue is because Michigan State and Michigan would play, but Ohio State's a bigger rivalry.
But I would just say, I think Penn State should play Pittsburgh on on rivalry weekend, just because I think that makes
they're finally renewing They're finally renewing playing West Virginia.
Yeah.
At the start of the year. There's just a lot of good rivalries that we don't ever really talk about that just stop playing, which kind of stinks because some of these rivalries are really good. Like back then, these were big time rivalries, like Penn State, Pitt, West Virginia, Penn State, West Virginia.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys were Big East rivals.
Big East rivals, yeah.
Big Ten rivals, these guys.
Or especially a lot of them were the non-conference. They weren't any conference at all.
But geographically,
they were just geographically close. So that's just who they scheduled every single year for
Virginia,
about 100 freaking years. Yeah.
Virginia Tech, West Virginia was the Black Diamond rivalry. They've played a couple times recently. Trying to think anybody who else. It's been Miami, Florida. Honestly, hasn't been played a whole lot recently. They played a couple years ago.
They play once every 8 years.
So that's too long. Just glad Penn State, Pitt, West Virginia is gonna be played again this year. But these need to be annual things. Instead of these cupcake games. But that's a whole different conversation because you bring finances into it, or money for the other teams. Instead of these cupcakes, schedule these rivalries, these outer conference that can boost your resume. But That's all I really had on that. And then the other news nugget was the kind of build off what we talked about last week from the Florida-Georgia game was up in the air. So it was agreed today that the schools had agreed on extending at least through 2025 to be staying in Jacksonville to play the games. So
I'll tell you, I kind of expected that just because
money is always going to be the ultimate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I know that Kirby Smart has been a pretty open proponent to keeping it in Jacksonville. He's been very open about the fact that he would rather keep it. He'd rather make it a home and home game, right?
Yeah.
But with how much money
both
schools make from it, the ability to grow the university outside of the state of Georgia, you know what I mean?
I don't think they need to be.
Well, you know what I mean.
I saw a thing though, right after we had recorded, or the next day or so. I was reading an article again, something about like the story adding on, but Jacksonville, the city of Jacksonville, that week makes roughly over $40 million.
Yeah.
So just that week, so it helps out the city as well. But I don't care. I mean, world's largest outdoor cocktail party stays. Now probably will be a home and home 26 to 27. But for now, staying in Jacksonville. Duval, stand up. So, but that's actually going to lead us as Georgia into our second topic, I guess. Really, our first. College football news doesn't really count, but
yeah.
Anyway, so some recent comments have been made, social media, from another podcast, where they were they weren't talking really bad about Sanford Stadium in Georgia. They're just saying now it's not right now, this moment, not 10 years ago, right now.
Yeah.
It's not a top 5 SEC stadium. And the points this person was making,
don't be afraid to say his name,
were not good. And we're just, I don't know if he has he just doesn't like Georgia. Something against him. But every time it's something good happens for us, it's just like he just slanders it, or they slander it. Except if it was Bama or LSU, it's all fun and games. It's fine. He said something earlier this week about Dylan Raiola. He wishes he would have gone to Nebraska. Continue the family legacy. Build the statue. Have be a star. Oh, it's just Georgia. It's just another quarterback. You're just another guy. Excuse me? No. Since when does becoming a good story matter? I thought you want to win. Lead your team to win a championship, not go 6-6 in Nebraska. Okay?
Oh, come on. They got a good coach.
Well, you still got to win.
I mean, okay, so I got mixed things about it, and I did not hear the clip. I'll open by saying that. So you know what? He
Watch
could be
the
a lot
clip
ruder.
later.
Okay. The idea that Sanford Stadium is not a top 5 venue, I disagree with. I will say, however, because Georgia plays Florida away, a neutral site, but away.
It's a away game.
Yeah, you don't have a lot of great hostile home games because you get a lot of,
Well, it also doesn't help that the scheduling and people say, and then, oh God, I can't stand other SEC schools, and there's this stupid comment, they don't play anybody. How is that our problem? That's not my problem. That Auburn sucks. Florida's dog crap. Tennessee can't beat us. Who else? Missouri's no good. Vanderbilt stinks. That's not my issue. That's not Kirby Smart's issue. That's not Georgia's issue. They do what they're expected to do, and that's dominate. That's not their problem that the other teams can't stack up to what they're doing and compete.
Yeah.
And so that equivalates then when you have poor teams, you get, and since college football is scheduled week to week on times, they get stuck these stupid noon games, and it drives me crazy. They did not have a single night game at home all year last year. They
Yeah.
only had one the year before at home.
Mhm.
That's unacceptable. Can't have it. And this
But
year,
I think that pushes that narrative though. The no night game.
well, that's only because
Mhm.
they're playing teams that aren't any good. Why would you?
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to put my primetime game with
Mhm.
a 9-0 Georgia against a
Mercer.
no, not even Mercer, like a freaking I don't know what's not freaking
3-6.
a 5-4
Vanderbilt.
a 5-4 Missouri. Why would
Yeah.
I don't want that? That's going to be a noon kickoff on the SEC network.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so. But Georgia fans have consistently, since Kirby Smart has come in,
Mhm.
as of right now,
Yeah.
that is one of the hardest. You ask any team, they do not want to go to Sanford Stadium. They haven't lost at Sanford at home
Yeah.
since 2019. That was against South Carolina in double overtime. So Jake Fromm threw like 4 picks, and Blankenship missed a field goal to tie it in overtime. So it took double OT to beat them. They do not lose at home. They will not lose at home this year, probably. Their toughest game at home, I think, is Ole Miss. Which, will that be a night game? Maybe.
Depends on what Lane Kiffin does.
But here's the issue, too. Because last year, Tennessee should have been a night game. But CBS still has the top SEC spot.
Mhm.
So they would take it. Which
Yeah.
I have no issue with.
Mhm.
But since CBS only gets one night game slot, they had already used it with A&M and Bama, which was a good game.
Mhm.
So, but
Surprisingly.
you roll that dice, though, not thinking Tennessee and Georgia are going to be a 1-3 matchup later on that year. So, but I do have a quick couple nuggets here. We talk about hostile and crowds.
Mhm.
Let's see. UGA Arkansas, 2021. It was a noon kickoff, by the way. 110 decibels. Okay, folks. If you don't know what that is, that's this equivalent. That was louder. That's the equivalent of a New York subway. That was louder than the Penn State whiteout that year. Okay. Last year, Tennessee 2022, 132.6 decibels. Folks, the NCAA record is 133.6, so it was a 1.1 decibel shy of tying the record. That's equivalent to a jet engine taking off, a gun at close range, and it matches the loudest concert ever. Okay, so Tennessee had 7 false starts that game. They completely took over and was a main reason, and it was pissing rain the entire game.
Yeah.
And they were still there. All 96,000 of them, 97,000. They might have added extra seats. Like, since Kirby Smart has taken over, he has revitalized. Because let's be honest, I mean, during the Rick era, as long as I've been a Georgia fan, it was Rick and Smart.
Yeah.
Georgia was good, but could never get over the hump. And that kind of showed sometimes with the fan base.
Yeah.
But since Smart has come in, he has revitalized this place and made it into somewhere you do not want to go. And if you go, you're probably going to lose.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I think Norvell's going to start doing.
Yeah.
Revitalizing. Let's be honest. I mean, was it 2 years ago? You guys were getting your ass kicked by Syracuse at home.
Yeah.
Like, you losing by like 40. And there was like nobody there.
Yeah.
I mean, but he's revitalizing this place. Like, get energy going. That's what happens when you bring optimism and just hope to a university and their fan base. It creates noise. It gets going. Buzz. Let's get people here. People respond. But yeah, UGA is a Sanford Stadium isn't a hostile crowd. I think it's the swamp.
Speaking of that, do you want to move into the rankings?
Let's do it.
For those?
Let's do it.
Let's do
it right now. Yeah, let's do that. So, top 5 stadiums.
You want to start with your number 5?
Okay. So, I said Ben Hill Griffin Stadium.
Okay.
That's Florida.
Okay.
Right now, this is only because I finally experienced. I went to 2 LSU or 2 Florida games, not counting the Georgia-Florida game because that was a neutral site. Went to Eastern Washington and LSU. So the LSU game was the night game. That place was crazy. They got their ass kicked.
Yeah.
That's Florida football for you, baby. Other than that, but really good crowd. The stadium inside's a little old and just
Yeah.
feels outdated. A little,
Mhm.
but it feels like though even when they suck, they're still packed out on night
Yeah.
games like this. So that's the only reason why I put them at Florida. I'm just gonna go out and say it.
Yeah.
Bama is not on my top 5.
So they are in my top 5, but I'll give you my number 5. It's
Okay.
also Ben Hill Griffin. I've been to 3 games there,
Mhm.
and I've been to, Florida State. That was pretty packed, right? You know what I mean? Like it was a good amount of people there. It was loud. But then I also went to they played Sanford.
Yes.
Is that yeah? They played Sanford a couple years ago, and
Lost. No, that was when
no,
they almost lost. They
they
were losing.
they almost lost. The stadium was all the upper decks were empty by the end of the first quarter.
Nice.
So I've been there when it's like empty, and I'll tell you, it's a nice place, but it's very old. The field is
Yeah.
kind of nasty at times,
It
and
just feels outdated.
yeah,
Like it needs the outside.
mhm.
The outside of the stadium looks like
Great.
this place is
It
really
looks.
nice.
I think it
It's
looks
just
awesome, and then
you walk in and it feels
mhm.
like I'm at like just a giant like high school stadium.
Yeah, I think the biggest issues with the place are the scoreboards are pretty bad.
The scoreboards are really bad. They're
Mhm.
just small.
The press boxes, no offense, but they legitimately looked like somebody was in like a creator on like a MLB The Show stadium creator and just plopped on top boxes because they don't look like they're just sitting on top of stands. Like it looks
Hmm.
weird, but it's obvious that the stadium built out, right? That it started something small and just grew up.
Yeah,
So you kind of gotta commend it for that, and it's a very unique environment. So I put it at number 5 for me,
it is.
same
I
as you.
mean, their fourth quarter light show with
Hmm.
Tom Petty is pretty. It's pretty cool. I will admit.
Yeah. Hmm.
Um, as from a hostile standpoint, from a scale to 1 to 10, or we'll do scale to 1. Let's do this hostile and
Yeah.
crowd environment 1 meter 1 to 5. I give it a 3.5.
Yeah. That's
Three and a
fair.
half for me.
I would give it a 5 just because,
I
but
watched that Bama
only when
Florida game.
Florida's good.
Yes. Well, I watched that early in the season too. Like I'm
Hmm.
probably going to be at that Tennessee Florida game, which is going to
Yeah.
be a night game
Hmm.
because Florida gets every night game in the world.
Yeah, they do. I don't get it.
Tallahassee doesn't. You guys get a lot of
No,
afternoon games.
we do. We get a lot of 4 o'clocks.
Yeah. That's going to be an ESPN definitely
Hmm.
or a CBS game, maybe one or the other.
Technically 3 o'clock because Tallahassee's in the Central Time Zone.
Is it really? I didn't
Yeah.
know that. Huh.
Weird, isn't it?
That's weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
What? I didn't know
Yeah.
that. Why
It's
are you
right on the
breaking
edge.
news right now on me?
No, it's weird because like you go there and I go in thinking it's a 4 o'clock time start, and then I get there, it's like 2 o'clock, and my friend's like, "We gotta go," and I'm like, "What? It doesn't start for another 2 hours?" He's like, "No, it starts in an hour, man."
That's weird. No, I'm not going to take that. Won't accept it. Anyway, I will say I remember the Alabama Florida game from
Mhm.
2 years ago. That place looked crazy.
2021, right? Yeah.
Mhm. That place was
Yep.
jumping. They
Mhm.
almost pulled that out. So,
Yeah.
um,
That's why I agree. When the team is really good, that place can be crazy. But when the team is anywhere below 10 win, the energy just
well,
disappears.
I will say even last year when LSU, by the time the LSU game was, they
Mhm.
were like 4-5.
Yeah.
Like they weren't anything. But listen, that was a sold out crowd still.
That was a big rival though, too.
True.
LSU, that's a big rival. That's
Well, still, I mean, you still
yeah.
had to show out though.
Yeah, no, I agree, but still.
All right. Anyway, all right. Let's move on to 4.
Okay.
I have College Station or Kyle Field at
Mhm.
College Station, Texas A&M. Over 100,000 people.
Yeah.
It's always been one of the best environments in college football. I mean, the 12th
Yeah.
man, when those Aggies are waving those white towels, I mean, it's crazy.
Hmm.
I mean, it's clearly they can be a factor. So that's why I
Yeah.
have them right there. think it's 105. I'm gonna look this up.
It's the biggest. I think it's 106 actually.
No, Michigan has the biggest.
No, in the SEC, I mean.
Oh yeah.
I think it's big. It's like 106, I think.
Here, I'll type it. I'm looking it up. It's
No, but I agree with you.
102,733.
102?
Yeah, the largest
Okay.
Penn State. I mean, we'll get to it later, but Penn State's
Yeah.
Bryant Denny's 101,000. And
Yeah, I knew that.
jeez. Let's see. Ben Hill Griffin. What's your number 4?
Florida State, Doe Campbell, it's at 80, I think. 82.
Ben Hill Griffin's 88,400.
Yeah.
Doak is 79,000.
They dropped capacity when they opened the champion level.
Mm-hmm.
Because they cut out some seats. But they've been talking about renovations that will cut down on seats, but it will turn a lot of the bleachers into like backed seats.
Mm-hmm.
On like the lower decks area. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, look here. Well, I was just going to say, watch this. I'm going to share a screen real quick.
Okay.
And you see my screen?
Yep.
If you're on YouTube, this is Ben Hill Griffin. Just so you can see, what we're talking about. There's the bleachers. Just
I think
the
that one
orange
right there.
The orange makes it look outdated.
Yeah.
It needs to
But
be
I
paint job. But look how tiny the scoreboard is.
Yeah, the scoreboard's really tiny. I think that this picture right here shows a good example of what I was talking about the press boxes. They really do look like they were just placed on top.
Yeah.
They don't.
But if you look
work in
outside,
like
look how it's a nice stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Looks nice, but just the inside's just a little outdated. That's my issue.
I love the statues out front look great too.
Mm-hmm. All right, so what was your number 4?
Bryant Denny.
Bryant Denny.
Yeah, I said Bryant Denny only because when it comes to like just the nicest stadium, which I think to watch a game would be, it's definitely Bryant Denny. You know, seats 101,000, right? Like that's huge.
Yeah,
it's got
101,821.
It's got state-of-the-art video boards. It has fantastic seating. It doesn't look like there's a bad seat in that house.
Yeah, here I'm gonna share my screen so we can just
so we can see the pictures of the stadiums as we're
or
talking.
here. Yeah, because I don't feel like copying and pasting. So
yeah,
I'm just gonna share my screen. If you're watching on YouTube, as you should, make sure you're subscribing.
Oh yes.
So here we go. So we're gonna show Kyle Field first. So you can see Kyle Field. I mean, as you can see, I mean, look at this. I mean, this is a professional football field.
Yeah,
at its finest. I mean, look at that. That's just called oil money right here. Oil.
Yeah.
Some good old oil money right here. I mean, that's just look. You see the white towels are waving. This is gonna be a hostile environment at its finest. That Clemson game a couple years ago, Clemson squeaked it out, but man, how about the Bama game the other couple years ago, 2 years ago? Completely.
So that picture right there is actually before renovation. So I also think
this is a good picture.
Yeah, that's a good picture of it.
And then here's Bryant Denny. I mean, again, just here's a good picture.
Yeah.
My only issue.
It's still on Kyle Field right now, by the way.
Yeah. My only issue with oh look, here we are. Look at me. That's Kyle Field. Never.
Yeah.
My only issue is that with Bryant Denny is their fans, the fan base, especially the students, they get a little lackluster. You know, they're not very motivated. Like they just expect to be winning, so they don't show up to these smaller games. Like I'm counting that in with. Are you showing up week to week? How is it's bad when Nick Saban's begging you guys to get out there. No, that's not good. You're at number 6 on my list.
That's hilarious, by the way.
But if you remember, he was doing that. Like he was making these early season games when it's Cupcake City, but it's like
and then he blamed the machine. That was hilarious.
Dumb, right?
That was absolutely hilarious.
What would you your meter? I'm giving Kyle Field a 4. What are you giving Bryant Denny?
Like a 3.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah.
You see me?
Yeah, I can see you. Yeah.
Perfect. All right, number 3. Let's kind of get through this. Neyland Stadium I have.
Okay.
Neyland Stadium. I mean, the Power T last year, the Kentucky game, Bama game, the orange, the checkered is one of the best, personally. But that's why I'm gonna put, and I'm gonna give them a on the meter. I'm gonna give them a. I'm gonna give it a 4. It's gonna get a 4 again.
That's fair.
And
so,
go.
what were you gonna say? Okay.
No, go
I
ahead.
was gonna say my number 3 is Sanford Stadium,
Okay.
home of UGA. It looks beautiful from the outside. I like how the way you can see it from the highway like that. Gives a great view right there. And I've never been personally though, so that's my
It's
only thing.
awesome.
Yeah, I'd love to go to a game.
It's
when
awesome.
Florida State plays Georgia, I'll be there. Which actually, that's in a couple years now. So getting closer by the year.
What is your? We'll do. I'll show some pictures after we're done with our list, so we can just kind of keep rolling. What is so? What are you giving them on the meter then?
3.5.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Respectable, but not.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. So what's your number, or what's my number 2?
Yeah,
is
your number 2.
My number 2 is Sanford Stadium.
Okay.
I think just recently, like I said, when you haven't lost a game there since 2019,
Yeah.
your fans sell out crowds. I mean, that's all it. That has all the makings of being a top. You forced Tennessee into 7 false starts.
Yeah.
In the game last year, when people were saying that they were going to have any issue running their offense, like that crowd, big games when they come out. When you have a big game in Athens, the fans are showing up. So
yeah,
I'm going to give it a 4.5. And yeah, what's your number 2?
Neyland Stadium.
Okay. So we're just
flip
flop.
Yeah. I said Neyland over Sanford only because the ability they have to consistently, not every single game they checker it, but the ability to coordinate that in a stadium that seats over 100,000 people is incredible.
Well,
and
they designate.
Yeah, no, I understand, but being able to coordinate that by itself is still impressive to me. The passion the fan base has, even in some of its low years, they still tend to rock that place, and it's still a very intimidating environment to walk into, right along the river too.
Yeah.
So I put them at number 2, and I would put I put them at like a 4.5. Yeah.
And I think we can guess each other's
number
1.
I think we have the same one.
And I'm gonna go with LSU.
Yeah, I have Tiger.
So we got Tiger Stadium and LSU. Clear cut, I think.
Yeah.
College. Ask anybody, any college football guy, they'll say college. I mean, Tiger Stadium's up there, some of the best.
Yeah.
You got seismographs going off some of these big time games. Just the atmosphere down in Baton Rouge is crazy all the time. You get those games at nighttime, those Cajuns come out. You get them drinking all day. They will be ready to go.
Yeah.
Ready to roll. So, especially when LSU's good, I mean, that place is a whole different animal. Yeah.
See, that place can be scary.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
Your team's going in there. So I'm
sure.
glad we got neutral site games, personally, as a Florida State fan. Because I did not want to have to watch my Noles go into Tiger Stadium.
Right.
I mean, it's.
Can you see if I click on this? Can you tell me if you see? Do you see Sanford?
Yes.
Do you see Neyland?
No.
Oh man, so we probably. I know what I did wrong.
Yeah.
Hold on. It's because I don't think we saw. Share
screen. We didn't get to see Brian Denny there. It was just
I'll add it on. So I'm gonna go to Window tab and just click on this. Whoa! All right, you see this?
Yep.
All right, perfect.
They can see the tabs at the top too.
Okay, so we got Neyland Stadium right here, guys. I mean, this is like we were talking about the checker game. I think it's from this year because like there's Florida.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can see that's the checker game. The checker game for that game was awesome. I mean, this is at night. I'm trying to find. This was. I mean, when. It's good to see when Tennessee's good, because you just like these big time crowds like this. I mean, look at that.
Fun.
It is fun. I mean, that's what makes college football so fun is when you get you're not going to ever get this in an NFL game.
No,
never. You never will. There's Georgia. I mean, that's probably when we dominated. They tried to checkerboard us, and we beat them 41 to nothing.
They still checkerboard it though. They still make that.
They
work.
checkerboard it. They did an all orange for the Bama game, but they did a checkerboard this year against Florida.
Yeah,
they won. So
which was awesome.
Mm-hmm. There's the river right there. Great atmosphere. All right, and then we'll move on. There's just Sanford Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Seats about a little over 96,000. This is at night. One of the best environments when it's a night game. This is an aerial shot. Just an overall, crazy environment this is. This was, I think,
see the road right next to the stadium too. People are walking across.
That's little walkway. Yeah. There's an entrance over here. They're doing renovations on it too. But you can see, no, you don't want to play here. When the dogs are here, it's go time.
Tries to leak down, boy.
Look at this. This is look at that. That's during the fourth quarter. That's crazy. That's great time right there. Let's go fourth quarter here. The light show is one of the best. It's awesome. And we all of our stuff Bama copied, so I'm just letting you know now. Anyway, here's Tiger Stadium.
It's a coliseum. Look at
that.
There's nothing else like that.
There's nothing else really to say when you have call them Baton Rouge. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Call them Baton Rouge. And here we'll look up Brian Denny over here.
Oh, at the Rays game, that's the one they lost.
I know. If you guys are watching on YouTube, you saw my wallpaper right there.
It's
just a beautiful photo. Like I said.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's a great looking stadium.
Yeah, look at this. My only issue is again when your coach is begging you to come out. That's my issue. So
yeah, no, I understand that, but I think the venue.
Some honorable mention. Yeah, for sure. All right, so we'll bounce back here. Some honorable mentions for me would be Jordan Hare on the Plains at Auburn.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
I was sitting there between Jordan Hare and Ben Hill-Griffin there for a minute.
Mm. So, but that was our SEC list.
Yeah.
Take them for what you want. I think it's how you say it. I don't really know.
Yeah.
Don't care.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, you're right.
All right. But we'll move on to ACC Stadiums now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Excuse me. Oh. Sorry, I got my rundown sheet here.
No, you're good.
So, I think you want to just, how about, because, I don't know, because we stretched out that SEC one a little bit. Do you want to just run through our 5 and we'll show pictures?
Yeah.
Run through our 5, give the meter, and then at the end we can show pictures.
Yeah.
All right, so my number 5 is Acrisure Stadium, strictly because I'm a Steeler fan. Heinz Field's awesome. I'm going to call it Heinz Field, not Acrisure Stadium. It's weird. Although I did see that they were possibly saying trying to bring back Heinz, make it like Acrisure Stadium at Heinz Field.
Yeah.
Something like that, which I'm fine
that.
with. That's like what Georgia does. It's Dooley Field at Sanford Stadium.
Okay. Yeah, it's
so that was strictly
Bobby Bowden Field at Doak Campbell Stadium.
There you go. This is a strictly just because I'm a Steeler fan. I love that that stadium's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my number 5 on the meter, like a 2.8.
Yeah.
All right, what's your
fair.
5?
I had Syracuse's home. I still call it the Carrier Dome, but I don't know what they call it now.
It's always the Carrier.
It's got its own weird name now, but I don't really
They'll
care.
probably call it the Jim Boeheim Dome.
Yeah, something stupid, but it's a classic. It's a not fun place to play because it's
always those sleepy Thursday, Friday night game. For some dumb reason, and someone walks in there and loses.
And for some reason, they decide to not turn on the AC sometimes on purpose.
I think it's strategy. It's good strategy.
Yeah, it's a good strategy too because you're not expecting it.
Clemson always goes in there and struggles.
Everybody does.
Everybody
always struggles in there because, I would say the fan base I'd give a 4. I think it's one of the more solid fan bases just because they're not the loudest, but when they're in that dome, they pack that dome and it's loud in there.
Mm-hmm. All right.
What was your 4?
Number 4 is Lane Stadium, and I could have moved this one up a little bit, but I kept it. I could have probably flipped it with my third team, but kept it at 4. I mean, if we're strictly just going off of entrances,
Yeah.
it's one of the top
I
5.
mean, Enter Sandman.
Enter Sandman.
Come on.
Night game at Lane Stadium. When you get a top team going in there,
Yeah.
even though that Virginia Tech's going to lose, it's still what a
Still
I get
great.
goosebumps watching it
Every time. Every single time.
Every time. It's one of the best. Problem is the team stinks, so
Yep.
they always lose. They can never win that big game. But yeah, Hokies.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
the only reason why it's still 4. Because
I also had Lane Stadium at 4.
okay,
that was also my number 4. Exact same reasons you said. Enter Sandman is incredible. It is
when you get that place when they start jumping.
when they start jumping and you got the massive
and then they just
seating. Oh my gosh!
Problem is, if we're just
They're not going to win
we're
everything.
not going off entrances.
No.
We're going off winning. So
yeah, well, not just winning, but just stadiums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 3 for me is Carter Finley Stadium. It's NC State.
Yeah.
With the Wolfpack. I've seen recently that NC State's been a solid team recently, and they always give people fits when they come in there. It's never an easy place to win.
Nope.
And you see it year in and year out. Last year, Clemson went down, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it 2 years ago? 2 years ago.
Clemson went down 2 years ago, and
that was the big loss. But I mean, you always see it's always these ACC stadiums are always just trap games. It feels like.
Yep. Yeah.
They're not big enough to be like overwhelming like an SEC stadium, but
there's only
game.
2. There's only 2 ACC stadiums that you can legitimately say, oh, they're big enough. You know what I mean? Because we both know who we both have are 1 and 2, even if they might be flipped or not. But those 2 stadiums set themselves apart.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the stadiums, I think you can,
Louisville's is big, but it's not impactful.
But it's even not that big. It's at like 50
true.
or 60,000, maybe.
It's like a normal NFL stadium.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, what's your? Oh, I forgot to go back. Virginia Tech on the meter.
Yeah.
I give it a. If we're going off entrances, it's a 5 throughout the entire game. It's a 3.
Yep. No, I'd say maybe a 3.5. Just Hokie fan.
Carter Finley, I'll give it a 2.8 again. 3.
Okay. So I did one just off of the way the stadium looks, where it's located. I said Bobby Dodd,
which is
Georgia Tech.
Oh, that pilot trash.
Now let me finish. The view of downtown Atlanta is spectacular from the stadium.
No, it's not.
Okay. All right.
Continue. Go ahead, though. Continue.
It's a fun, smaller venue, and it's very old. It's very historical. I think it's the most impressive? No. But I also think the ACC has a lot of horrible stadiums. Like Hard Rock, right?
Dude, there was a picture. Oh, here we go. And I'm going to show it.
Yep.
This was back on. Trying to find it. Continue, though.
I would give the fan base a 1.
Oh, yeah. They're a bunch of nerds.
Yeah, I would give the fan base a 1 because, the majority of it don't care about football that much. But I think the stadium itself is great.
Well, you think that. Go ahead. Number 2, that was your 3.
Yeah.
Number 2, I'm going Doak Campbell.
Okay.
When FSU is good, it's as electric as any place I've seen.
Yeah.
When you get the chop going at the start, that's great. And when you get the I don't know what you call him, the horse guy,
Chief Osceola and Renegade. Come on.
Yeah, whatever that is. Anyway,
come on.
Chief Osceola
and Renegade.
When he's not falling off his horse, when he's putting this spear right down in the midfield, awesome, electric, and they can be impactful throughout the entire game. I think that's why at number 2. The only problem is number 1. I mean, I'm just gonna say. I'll just go and say it, and you give me your 2 and 1 because I think we have the
Okay.
same. Number 2.
I think we have it flipped actually.
Number 1, I have Clemson.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just year in and year out. It's one of the hardest places to go in and win. Death Valley.
Yeah.
Not really Death Valley. It's the fake Death Valley. But you had the guys coming down the hill. Dabo sprinting full speed, looking like a clown. Howard's Rock up the top. And crazy environment. You're going to be there, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're going to see
At the
an
end of
experience.
September.
You're going to see what it's like on a big-time ACC game.
Yeah.
So that'll probably be a Saturday night game. I bet you game day's there.
Yeah.
So get ready to roll right there.
I'll probably be at game day too. Think about that. You might see me on TV with a big sign that says Florida State better.
Nice. So my meters for both teams, Doak Campbell, I'm going to give I'll give it a 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
And then Clemson, I'll give it a 3.8.
Okay.
So not far off, but yeah.
So yeah, I had Memorial Stadium number 2, Death Valley Junior, and I had Doak Campbell number 1 because I'm biased. Just gonna be honest with you, I am biased in this matter, but from a legitimate point of view, I think both fan bases are really on the same level because when Clemson is kind of doing rough, their fans do not care. It's a smaller, like, the stadium you could see it dissipate quickly. Similar to Florida State, I think both fan bases are really similar
Yeah.
in that regard. So I'd give both fan bases a 4.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're very similar, even if we don't want to admit it to each other. We're very similar fan bases, simply because we both have SEC rivals in the SEC East, who are named after the state school.
For sure.
So I did pick Florida State though because come on, Doak Campbell Stadium, largest building in the world.
Whatever. I'm just teasing. Not bad. All right, so that was our top 5. If you want, all right, so we'll now show some picks.
Yeah.
I'm going to share the screen. You're going to see a weird screen here, and then we're going to go. So here's Bobby Dodd Stadium.
Okay, yeah.
So we have Georgia invading this pathetic excuse for a high school field in the middle of Atlanta.
You're choosing the worst pictures possible on purpose.
No, I'm not. By the way, off topic, this was at Notre Dame a couple years ago when we invaded South Bend. That was awesome.
I say the search is quite literally.
Here we go.
UGA invading J Tech Stadium.
Well, you have to. I mean, here's your view,
mm-hmm.
and here's Georgia fans taking over.
It's a great view, though.
Well, I don't know about that. There's the baseball field though in the background. You can see that.
Yeah.
All right.
I say whatever.
Take your L, Dylan. Here we go.
Here
you go.
Wait till
if you're happy, there's your go.
It's the empty.
It's empty. That's just a normal game day there, though.
Okay. All right.
Here's Clemson Memorial Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
This is what Dylan's going to see when Clemson wins again. Just teasing.
When Clemson loses, like they did.
Look at this. I mean, this is pretty sweet, though.
No, it's a great stadium.
Georgia's going to be there. Was there a couple years back in like 2013, but trying to find Howard's Rock or the Hill. Oh, here we go. Here's a good pick.
Yeah,
going down the hill. But yeah. All right. So here's FSU.
Doak Campbell.
Not bad. I like how big the screen is. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah. No, it's a great screen. You got to go to Doak Campbell one day, man.
Is that Florida?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a tiny crowd for a rivalry. Hate to see that.
That was a couple of years ago.
When both teams sucked?
Yeah.
I hate to see it. Here's an aerial shot. I like all the old brick. It's pretty sweet. There's a baseball field.
I would say just to the left, that's the renovations they've been discussing.
This one?
Mm-hmm. I don't love it.
You don't?
No.
Dylan doesn't approve, guys. Don't do it.
No, don't do it.
All right, here's Carter Finley.
Yeah, it's a nice stadium.
It's actually a lot bigger than I thought. But solid stadium.
Mhm.
One of those sleepy. Here's your Raleigh, North Carolina. This is actually fun fact. This is where they did the NHL. One of the NHL outdoor games this year
Yeah.
was right here at this field. The Hurricanes and Capitals played that day. Nice stadium in Raleigh. Lane Stadium at night.
Man,
Awesome environment.
that seating just goes up so high too.
It does. But I mean, when you get Enter Sandman rolling,
Mhm.
just it's a different environment. Problem is, again, the team can't ever win the big game. So,
Nope.
what the team will do is they'll start. If you can see the mouse, they'll
Mhm.
start all the way over here and they'll make the walk into a tiny little room, little tunnel that leads out to the field. That's the practice facility right there.
Mhm.
And then, of course, home of your 6-time Super Bowl champs, the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, look, you got the Allegheny right there, Heinz Field, my Heinz Field, right here. To the right of it is PNC Park. I mean, look at this view. Look at that. Can't tell me otherwise.
I would say PNC has a way better view, but
Well, yeah, because you have a more direct shot of the city. Because this is to the right.
no, you're not wrong. But I just when a team is playing in an NFL stadium, I can't give them credit.
True. Okay.
My values. I can't give anything nice to Miami. So playing in an NFL stadium is immediately
You hear me?
an L to me. Yes.
Oh, hold on. My mic fits. One second. You hear me?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes, I can hear you.
Acting up again. I'm just all
Hello?
over the place, guys. All it is.
Can you hear me?
We're gonna try this again. All right, we're gonna try this again. If it doesn't work, again, I don't really care. Yeah. All right. Does everyone hear me? We're all good.
Yes.
Okay.
I can hear you. Yeah. I don't know if you can hear me, but
I can hear you. It's just going through my computer or not in my headphones for now. It'll switch back over in a second. All right.
okay.
Let's run through this because we're getting a little close here.
I would say, did you want to jump to 3 questions and save the rest for another episode so we can do 2?
I think we can squeeze in one more.
Oh.
I think. One second. My dog is at the door.
Okay.
Priorities here. Okay.
Mhm.
I don't know why I'm putting my headphone in. It's not even. I can hear you through the computer. That's what it is. Anyway, all right. Let's roll through Big Ten stadiums. If we want, we don't even have to show photos. You just want to do that.
Mhm.
Okay. My
want me to
number
start?
5 is
Okay, you
Spartan
start,
Stadium. What?
Yep. No, you're good.
This is such BS. My number 5 is Spartan Stadium,
Okay.
and my only reason is that place when Michigan State's good, like I keep saying, like when these teams are good, like this place is good. But if I'm giving it on the meter, I'll probably give it a 2.8.
Yeah.
That would be my 5. What's yours?
I had Nebraska's Memorial Stadium at number 5.
Okay,
They
that was
they
my
got a
honorable mention.
I was gonna say I think they have a great fan base, and I think the stadium's nice. It's just the team's been terrible for coming up on 15, 20 years now. So
And they keep lying about their sellout stadium.
yeah, but they do have a good fan base. I will give them that credit. They do have a good fan base.
Hopefully, Matt
I'd
Rule is able to revitalize it.
Yeah, I'd give it a 3.5.
Hey, not bad.
Yeah.
All right, Kinnick Stadium for me is number 4.
Okay.
This is a really good stadium, a very hostile crowd.
Yeah.
Like teams will get upset here. It's just a
Mhm.
matter of fact.
Yeah.
Especially at night. Like Iowa is as hard to watch as they are. God bless Iowa fans. Holy cow. And that suck.
They're
Although, you know what? I'm a Steeler fan, and we average like 12 points a game. So, I mean, it's
I was
not,
about to say they're
it's
like
not that bad.
they're paying homage to their uniforms,
True. That's true. That's a good similarity.
Yeah.
But not this year. Super Bowl Steelers.
Oof. 7
Ride
and
with
10.
that ship. Over 8.5 wins. Hammer that. If you're
7
betting.
and 10.
7 and 10. You take that. They are going to go at least 10 and 7.
Baker Mayfield will be better.
Shut your mouth.
than
We own the South,
Pickens.
and you know it. I'm getting off topic again. Anyway, and then when you have they do the tradition, the wave
Yep. No,
to
I
the
love that.
hospital. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's Iowa football.
Mhm.
What's your number 4? Oh, and the meter, I'll give it a 3.6.
Yeah. I had Spartan Stadium at
Okay.
number 4. I think the stadium looks awesome. The fan base can be kind of quick to give up, though. I've noticed. They're very.
Tuck's not coming. That's why.
I would say they were very passionate about Tuck, and then, once they realized everybody was right that Tuck was not coming, they gave up so quickly.
Yeah.
I do know some Michigan State fans though, so I got to give them the credit that they're pretty loyal for not,
That's all Big Ten schools, though.
yeah,
Just
but
good, whole, hard-working Americans.
being in the same state as Michigan, I can understand. I respect not being a Michigan fan,
Mm-hmm.
but I
What
give
do you
them
give
the
it?
2.8.
2.8. Okay.
Yeah.
See, these are tough because my top 3 could go either way. And I
Yeah.
actually, I'm realizing I left out one team.
Oh no.
I don't know how I didn't. Maybe I'm just like that.
Okay.
I put Ohio State at number 3.
So,
But since I left the team out, that I'm just gonna pat them at 3s with them.
Mm.
Because I left out for some reason. I left Michigan out.
what?
I don't know how I did that. I added Michigan State. So I left Michigan
That's
out,
fine.
but we're gonna add them in next to Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, maybe it's just me, but as big as the stadium is, these two stadiums are, they never feel
Yeah.
loud. Maybe it's just
No,
me.
they don't. They don't.
They
Neither
don't
one's
feel
that
loud at all. They're
Mm-mm.
just big and they fill up, but they're never
Yeah.
like impactful. They just
Nope.
I don't ever feel like if I'm another team, like I'm like in a hostile crowd.
No.
Maybe it's because
I
Michigan.
don't think the Big House or the Horseshoe is really the most
The Horseshoe
intimidating environment.
more, I would say the Horseshoe more so, but it's also they kind of fall into the same same hole that Georgia falls into, but they don't play a lot of big time games at home.
Yeah. The thing is though, I feel like at least Ohio State loses more games at Ohio Stadium to big time opponents than Michigan does. At
Yeah.
least recently.
Yeah.
Because Ohio State lost to Oklahoma just a couple years ago. They lost to Oregon when Manny Diaz was still there.
I bet I know that game. I remember. Anyway, Michigan last year.
Mhm.
They
Or Cristobal. So.
they squeaked by Notre Dame the beginning of the year at home.
Yeah.
That's why they're at 3. I'm going to give them
Mhm.
both a 3.7.
Yeah.
But they just Michigan feels I'll lean more towards Michigan with the nod of more. They can be more of a like a I don't know what the word is contributor to helping the team win.
Yeah.
Like with the environment over
Mhm.
Ohio State, but it's just strange because they're giant stadium, they're big stadiums.
They're big stadiums. Big stadiums.
But they just never feel loud.
No.
My number 2 is Camp Randall, Wisconsin.
Okay. Mhm.
Now this stadium, when you got a big game at Camp Randall, and Wisconsin's good, like they are crazy. Those guys are crazy. Like they love their football, and when you get jump around going, that's one of the best right there. That's why Camp Randall's up there for me. I'm going to give it a 3. I'm going to give it a I'll give it a 3-9. 3-9.
Okay. My number 2 is Beaver Stadium.
Okay.
You know, Penn State whiteout, Sweet Caroline. I mean, come on.
Yep.
That's two of the
And
best combos of all time.
We are Penn State. Some of the
To read
best.
Sandstorm.
Yeah. What are you giving them on the meter?
Oh, a 3.5. Only reason I say that is because outside of Penn State whiteout games, I don't think the stadium's that hostile.
True.
But that might also just be
The
because
issue
James
is
Franklin is
it
playing.
feels like it's all these Big Ten games are all like new early kickoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, and they're all mediocre.
Yeah.
They're all mediocre teams that are just playing each other in these noon afternoon kickoffs. So, Beaver Stadium's gonna be my number 1.
Okay.
Whiteout helps.
Yeah.
But night games there are crazy. Over 106,000 people are in that stadium.
Mm-hmm.
That is truly a hostile environment.
Yeah.
Always go back to the Mo Bamba opening snap, Michigan, and they had to call a timeout before leaving their first play.
Yeah.
That kind of atmosphere is just what you love about college football right there. How we talk about like Neyland, Sanford, Tiger Stadium. That's what you love to see right there. And I truly think it's top 5 best stadium in college sports.
Okay.
On the meter, I'm going to give it a 4.2.
Mm-hmm.
So,
okay.
All right. So those were our big. Oh wait, what's your number 1?
Michigan Stadium.
So you have Michigan Stadium at okay.
Yep. So my reason for Michigan Stadium, it's the largest stadium in the country, the 3rd largest in the world. It's historic. It looks amazing. The Michigan fans packing it when it's bright yellow with all the yellow pom poms.
Mm-hmm.
The all the Michigan fans singing, Mr. Brightside. The one entrance for both teams, I feel like
I don't like that. I think it's
I like
that's
it.
outdated.
I like it for the one reason, as it really does
But
get people up like right there. Like people
you
get in their feelings when they walk out.
incidents. You get incidences like you did last year at the Michigan State game,
Yeah.
Ohio State the year before. You get incidences like that where it's like if you just had two tunnels, this would not happen. But you have. I like the entrance more so than, but these rivalry games, it's like you're just asking for trouble, and their lack of not having lights up for the longest time. Their first night game was against Notre Dame, just like this decade.
Yeah.
So that was. I don't think it's as good as Beaver Stadium, but not a bad choice. I can't believe I left it off the list. I wrote it down. You're looking on YouTube here.
Yeah.
I have Beaver, Camp Randall, Ohio, Kinnick, Spartan.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I think just Michigan was on my mind, and then it wasn't. Okay, so let's go to, as we almost chugging along here. We're all right. We're on our final big segment for 3 questions anyway. So we have our top 5 quarterbacks we're looking forward to the most 2023.
Yep.
I'll start. We'll just do the same thing.
Yeah.
Number 5 for me is Joe Milton, Tennessee.
Oh, that's fair.
The arm. I'm curious to see how he comes. He was started his career at Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
But can Josh Heupel revitalize him like he did with Hendon Hooker, who came from Virginia Tech, who was a mediocre quarterback at best, but he's turned him into a 3rd-round pick in the draft. So
yeah,
I'm excited. That arm is as crazy as anybody I've ever seen. I mean, a flick of the wrist, and he could throw a ball 60 yards.
Yeah.
I mean, if you watch the Orange Bowl.
I was going to say he looked amazing in that Orange Bowl game.
Looked great. So I want to see a full – it'd be good to see him the full season. What's your number 5?
Michael Penix Jr.
Okay.
I'm excited to see how his season goes in I almost said Wisconsin. Washington. But,
coming back for the senior year.
Coming back for the senior year, I think with, just that I think that Pac-12 in general is full of a lot of
Oh, the Pac-12 is
great
going to be great, and it's a shame that they're going to be playing on the CW. So,
yeah. No, I'm just really excited to see them.
they're
play
getting
this year.
interrupted like the Live Golf Tournament is by like Flash and Green
Riverdale.
Arrow in Riverdale. So they're going to get the 10:30 prime time is getting interrupted by King of the Hill or
Yeah.
King of Queens or something like that.
Yeah.
King of the Hill is going to be on there. My number 4 is Michael Penix.
Okay.
It's going to be fun to see him with another offseason, another year.
Mhm.
See how he builds off of last year where he just kind of shocked everybody.
Yeah.
And I really think if he has another great year, he is going to be right up there in the Heisman. And Washington is a legit top 12 team.
Yeah.
Going into this year. I don't know if you want, we should do a top 25 where our episode, we just make a top 25 and we just talk about it.
What episode is this?
This is 21. We were only 21 episodes into our young career here in the podcasting.
Let's wait till episode 25.
Dang.
Top 25 for episode 25?
Bet. Our 25th
25th
anniversary. 25th episode anniversary. We'll give a giveaway. 50 cents going to the first person that comments on this video. Gosh, what are we doing? Washington, Michael Penix.
Yeah.
My number 4.
That's a great pick.
What's your 4?
My number 4 is Quinn Ewers.
Okay.
I think he's going to be great this year in Texas. It'll be his second season. He's going to be a little bit older, more time under the system. And I think last year we saw a lot of glimpses of his talent, but he obviously made a lot of stupid young mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just excited. I think he'll be really good this year.
My only concern with Ewers is he was electric, got hurt, came back, was all right, and then just for some reason the end of the year was not good as it wanted to be. And now you got Arch Manning and you got, I forget the other kid's name, behind him.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's pressure, but he's got some competition that he's going to have to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like you said, it's going to be fun to see. I think for a full year, because remember he wasn't the starter going into last year. So now you got a full year as being the QB1.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think he has a whole lot of wiggle room. It's just me. That's personally. I think if he struggles, like Sarkisian knows, Sarkisian doesn't have another bad year. With the weapons Texas has this year, they have no excuses.
No, I believe that's fair.
No,
but I also think Quinn Ewers will live up to the moment.
I think he will, but I think this is a big year for him because he's draft eligible this year too.
Yeah. So
this is a big year for him.
Yeah. No, I agree.
My number 3 is Drew Aller, Penn State.
Okay.
This will be somebody's finally replacing Sean Clifford. Quarterback Clifford felt like he was there for 20 years. Somebody new's there. Drew Aller has a legit arm. I think he's a freshman? Sophomore.
I think he's a sophomore. Or he might be a redshirt freshman.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
So one or the other.
Yeah.
But he sat back last year. year. He's gonna finally take the ropes this year. And I think Penn State is legit college football playoff contender. If they can go in, if they can handle Michigan, they got to split one of the two and take care of everybody else. Like they are legit, but they just gotta find a way. And I think Aller is going to provide a spark. That defense is very good. You still got Manny Diaz. I think this is a really good year, and you still have Nick Singleton coming back, who was a stud last year on the outs or as a running back. Penn State, look out. What's your number 3?
Great pick. I said Drake May.
Okay.
Drake May had a fantastic season last year. I believe he was was he a freshman last year too? Or is he a sophomore?
Sophomore.
Yeah. But he had a fantastic season out of nowhere, really. Because he was not on a lot of radars. And I think, another season, him deciding to stay instead of transferring to Alabama or another school really, I think, set a tone
Yeah.
to the locker room that, he's serious. I think he's going to be great. I think he'll be in the Heisman conversation again.
Oh, for
Think,
sure.
like,
He'll be a top 3 pick in the draft
yeah.
as long as he doesn't have a bad year, and he won't.
I think worst case scenario for Drake May is he gets invited to New York in December. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's
right.
the worst case scenario for him.
My number 2 is Jordan Travis. Because
Mhm.
I don't have Williams and May on my list. I didn't team outside of the two top guys who are
Yeah.
getting like all the talk.
Mhm.
So I did Jordan Travis only
Yep.
because I'm excited to see what he's going to finally do with his senior year, and he has all these weapons now.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you because you're the Florida State guy, but
Mhm.
if there's no excuses,
No.
I don't know if for Florida State is this like a must-win year to win the ACC. It
When the
feels like
ACC, yes.
it feels like a year where you have all of these guys you got out of the
Mhm.
portal, and sorry, my dog is.
No, you're good. You're good.
Go here, go. One second. Get. Go.
So when it comes to that, I think the majority of Florida State fans are in the opinion that Norvell is
This is a big
it,
year.
it's a 5-year cycle for head coaches. It's what a lot of Florida State fans have been obsessed with this mindset, right?
Yeah.
That it's build the program years 1 and 2, find success year 3, win the conference year 4, win the national championship year 5, right? That's the mindset a lot of Florida State fans have. So I think whatever happens, go into the conference championship or bust this year, right? Like it needs to happen. It
You
needs
gotta
to
go.
happen.
You have
So
everything lines up. You have
mhm.
the new conference realignment.
Yep.
You have the big games. You
Mhm.
have Jaheim Bell.
Yep.
You have Johnny Wilson. You have Coleman. You
Yep.
have
Hakeem Williams, who was a
Williams.
5-star freshman who looks amazing so far.
You have every weapon you need to
Mhm.
dominate the
Yeah.
ACC and be a legit playoff contender. I think 9 wins is a failure.
Yeah, that's fair.
10 wins is the bare minimum. It
Mhm.
should be a New Year's Six bowl at least
Yeah. No,
for
I
Florida
agree.
State.
I think worst case scenario, we're looking at going to a New Year's Six bowl. That should be worst case scenario for this team.
I saw a projection on 3, and they had them playing in a New Year's Six bowl. I forget which bowl it was. Okay, who's your number 2?
My number 2 was Jordan Travis.
Okay, so same
reasons.
Same
Yeah.
reasons. Okay, so
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, my number 1 is, and only because I'm a Georgia fan, is Carson Beck.
Okay, that's fair.
Because you got a new quarterback in Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
You have a lot of pieces coming back. You got new additions in Ra Thomas and Dominic Lovett, who are 2 of the top receivers from the SEC who transferred this year.
Yep.
You still have Bowers. You have McConkey. You got Kenny McIntosh coming back. Deshaun Edwards is back. Who else? Oh, Branson Robinson. I forget. You got Oscar Delp. You have – it's kind of like Travis, except Georgia's schedule sets up better, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
and which I think is nice. So you have a new quarterback, similar system, same system that he's been in.
Yeah.
First 4 or 5 games of the year are at home.
Yeah.
The toughest game is South Carolina in that stretch, which
that is –
it's bad, I know, but again.
not much you can control about that. I'm going to be honest with you.
So here's the issue here. Because one of the games, instead of playing UT Martin, we should have been playing Oklahoma this year. So instead we're playing UT Martin. I don't even remember the other games. They're that bad. Like, as a fan, would I rather be playing Oklahoma? Hell yeah, I would.
Yeah.
It is what it is. So, but aside from that, Carson Beck, I think he's a better quarterback than Stetson Bennett from an athletic standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
He has a better arm. You have the size. He has the ability to run. He doesn't have Bennett's legs, but he has the ability to use his legs.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see this. I think he's legit.
Sure.
I think he can. I'm not. Maybe I'm getting over crazy, but I think he has. I think he has legit. If he has a really good year, would not be surprised if he's in New York. If Stetson Bennett was there last year, there's no reason why Carson Beck can't be there.
That's fair.
No
But
reason.
yeah.
And I'm excited to see, because we could have a collision course, Joe Milton and Carson Beck. At Tennessee, week 10, I think. Like 10 or 11.
How would you feel if Tennessee won that game, though?
See, the problem is I can't think that because
Oh my
UGA
gosh.
has gone into Tennessee the last 3 times and is averaging 41 points a game. And they haven't. Josh
Tennessee
Heupel
scores 50 this game.
Josh Heupel hasn't scored more than 20. Hasn't even reached 20 points in the 2 meetings he's had.
Yeah, I know.
So,
Still, though, I think you got to.
but I'm not worried about that because the defense is still as good as ever. Because we have a lot of guys coming back, and they were young, and now they got some experience. But they need to win that game because they really don't have any other games.
Yeah.
Who's your number 1?
Caleb Williams.
Okay.
I know you didn't include the big names, but I was like, I didn't think about that before I made the list.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had Caleb Williams because
Self-explanatory.
He'll be the Buccaneers quarterback going into next season.
Ooh,
And
there you go.
Followed by Drake May in Pittsburgh.
There. Whoa! No.
You act like that wouldn't be a good thing for Pittsburgh.
No, we don't need another quarterback. We have Kenny Pickett. We're fine. Get me Emmanuel Abuka from Ohio State or Marvin Harrison would be nice. Or Amari Mims, offensive tackle from Georgia. Another lineman would be awesome. Anyway, or Harold Perkins would be sweet too. Anyway, let's move on to 3 questions, shall we?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
As we will wrap up the show here, as we are one of our longer shows recently.
Yeah, actually it is. But...
So, Dylan, number 1 question for you.
Yes.
As always, 3 questions. We each write our own questions. We don't tell each other. He asks the other person. If we want to answer the same question, we will. Number 1, Dylan, with the NCAA baseball postseason on its way, conference tournaments are on their way. FSU did not.
No.
Make sure I get this right for the fans. FSU's baseball team did not make the ACC tournament first time not make the postseason first time 44 years. There you go. Anyway, so with Georgia already being knocked out, FGCU Eagles won yesterday. They play Lipscomb, number 1 seed tomorrow, who lost to Liberty. Anyway, back on track. With the NCAA baseball postseason starting up, who do you like to win it all?
LSU.
You like LSU? They crushed South Carolina today, 10-3.
I was going to say their offense and pitching is
and
so
Paul
good.
Skeens didn't pitch, by the way.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, they're just so much better. Did you see the whole Alabama coach or manager thing?
Alabama money line. What are you talking about? Bama money line. Are you kidding me?
Oh my God, he bet on his team knowing his pitching was
Dude, they crushed Kentucky yesterday. Look out,
funny,
Bama money line. Anyway, I feel like I saved something on Twitter I was going to talk about. I like Florida, personally.
So that's where you're mistaken.
Only reason why I hate Florida, but their odds aren't bad. Their bullpen's starting to shape up a little bit, and Jack Caglione is still hitting home runs at an alarming rate.
Mm-hmm.
So, funny thing here I just saw. So yesterday, the Braves game, it was Florida alumni night at Truist Park. And they were selling like these mugs, these tumblers that was like the Atlanta Braves logo, and then like Florida.
Yeah.
And you know who showed up to the game? Our Lord and our Savior, Kirby Smart.
Really?
Oh, yeah. There it is. Oh, if you're watching on YouTube again, there's the cup, and there's our man. Look at it.
See, that's why this is why the Rays are better right here.
Anyway.
They're doing 3 nights.
Anyway, I'm going to take Florida. LSU. Florida or LSU, I think, has got to be. Wake Forest is really good. They're hitting. Their pitching, I feel like they're a little too reliable in their pitching. That's the only reason why. Florida is the only issue they've been is their bullpen. They have, but if they can again, their bullpen is starting to shape up a little bit, and they're still hitting bombs. So that's mine. What's your question?
What is your favorite stadium we talked about today?
Aside from Sanford Stadium, so I'm not a bias.
Yeah.
Probably Tiger Stadium.
Yeah, that's fair.
Just that I want to go. That's a bucket list place for me to want to go. A Penn State game would be pretty sweet too.
Yeah,
but probably those two.
it's completely fair.
All right, number 2 for you. Oh, this is the photo, and I took a picture of it. Dylan.
Yes.
There's been 29 Power 5 teams who have not won a national title.
Yes.
Teams are Arizona State, Baylor, Cincinnati, Duke, Houston, Indiana, and Iowa State, Kansas State, Louisville, Mississippi State, Missouri, North Carolina, NC State, Northwestern, Oregon State, Purdue, South Carolina, Texas Tech, Utah, Vanderbilt, Virginia Tech, Wake Forest, Washington State, Wisconsin, and West Virginia. From that list, and I'll show you if you're watching it on YouTube again.
Yeah.
Who do you like to be the first team off that list?
Off of that list right there?
Yes. These are the remaining teams that have not won a national title.
I would say either Utah or Wisconsin.
Okay.
One of those two.
I like Utah's not a bad choice. I like South Carolina as one. I think their offense is good enough too. I was just a little worried about their defense.
Wow.
But, what?
Did not expect that to happen.
What?
My phone just turned into a bomb.
Nice.
We're good though. We're good.
Wonderful. That's good for views, actually. Okay. What's your second question?
My second question is, how does it feel to be back at the right Dick's Sporting Goods?
Not bad. It's a lot busier, which means I don't have a lot more downtime to be on my phone. But that's not the point. Point is, we're here, loyal server to the Dick's Empire. You're listening. It sounded weird. Anyway.
It sounded really weird. I think if anybody was not paying attention, man, they'd be like, whoa.
Dick's Sporting Goods Empire.
Yeah.
All right. My number 3. I heard my door open. My number 3 is you're looking to invest in a team's future for the next 10 years. Who are you more willing to buy stock in from these teams? Florida, Nebraska, Miami, Colorado, or Oklahoma State?
I would take Nebraska.
Okay.
For one simple reason. I think all those other teams you named, outside of Oklahoma State, because I think they're going to stay steady where they are. They're not going to go anywhere. All those other teams have a way higher % chance of completely crashing and burning.
Yeah. I would think.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Especially a Colorado. Even with how much talent Dion's bringing in there, he's not really coming in with a lot of coaching experience.
Yeah.
So I think there's a very realistic chance that that whole experiment comes down crashing and burning.
I would only say Oklahoma State only because with Texas and Oklahoma gone,
yeah,
they're going to be one of the top guys in that conference. So why not? But
that's fair. That's completely fair. Only reason I said Nebraska was because I really do trust the coaching staff there. I really like that hire, and I do think they could do a lot.
All right. What's your final question?
My final question for you tonight.
to wrap up the episode.
Will Grand Theft Auto 6 be good?
Be honest with you, I've never played any of the Grand Theft Autos.
What? Oh my god.
I've played
What is
I'm gonna say yes.
Watch Dogs. Come on.
I'm gonna say yes, but again, I've never played any of the GTAs.
When 6 comes out, you're gonna have to buy it.
I don't know about that.
No, because then you're gonna have to play online with me because it's based on Florida.
Gotcha. Well, how about you try another question? Think of someone random.
All right.
Think of a random question.
Should Mark McGuire be in the Hall of Fame?
No, Barry Bonds in.
Oh my god.
Clemens
What's wrong with
in.
Mark McGuire?
He's a juicer. Unless you're making a separate category
Mm-hmm.
for steroid users, he does not need to be in there. Him and
No,
Sosa, get him out.
There's already steroid users in the Hall of Fame, so
That's what I've been saying for years. So why Bonds, who didn't take steroids, should be in?
Here's the thing. I think the way I see it, right, is this. Nobody cared when they played.
No, because it was good for baseball.
Yeah. So that's the way I see it.
All right.
The only guy who I think you can make an exception for, where he got in trouble in an era where they did care, but still, I think Alex Rodriguez still deserves to make the Hall of Fame just because
3,000 hits.
696 home runs.
Is he two-time World Series champ?
The one time,
but
he's like a 15 or 16 time All Star, 9-time Silver Slugger,
he
10
won't,
Gold
though.
Gloves.
He
I
won't, though.
I think he has a way better chance than Bonds does.
Yeah,
No,
but
no. I saw this video. This guy said he's
Pete Roche could be in the Hall of Fame.
No, he's gonna girl boss his own way into the Hall of Fame.
Maybe not. I don't even think these guys really care, though. I feel like deep down.
I think the only one who really cares is Alex Rodriguez.
Probably, but like
he's talked about it before.
Other than that, like these guys don't. I don't think these guys really care. I mean, because the Hall of Fame's not really what it used to be.
Yeah.
It's a corrupt, stupid voting system, but by a bunch of 75+ old, ancient MLB writers.
Yeah.
And sports talk guys that are outdated. The voting system's dumb. Like the whole thing's stupid, and we're not letting in some of the base. I mean, this is just off topic now, but like Bonds, when you're the all-time leader in home runs, I don't care. How are you
not in the Hall of Fame?
I don't care if you're juiced up.
Yeah.
You still got to hit the ball.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the steroids can only help you so much.
Yeah.
Like you still got it. And he did not take steroids. You still got to be able to time the ball up and hit it. So, but yeah, that's my thoughts on that. That could be a whole another conversation for another day.
For the next show.
Yeah.
Rays and Braves.
Well, I don't know about that, but
one day. It'll come out one day.
One day. Anyway, that's going to be it, guys, for this episode. As always, make sure you are liking, subscribing to the channel. Guys, like we keep saying, pass this channel along for some people to subscribe. If you're a new listener or watcher, please subscribe, guys. We're trying to grow the channel. We're doing all we can, but we need you guys to help out. But you guys are doing awesome watching this. The views have been super consistent and even better than I thought recently. So that's awesome to see, guys.
Yeah.
And, it only helps us grow from there. So hit that subscribe button, watch it.
Hit that like button.
Like that like button for sure. Find us on Spotify, Amazon Music. And Dylan, any last words?
Never forget Michigan Stadium.
Never forget Michigan Stadium. We'll go. That's going to be a new copyright trademark on this podcast. Never forget.
Get that on T-shirts.
Stadium.
Get that on T-shirts. We'll start selling
merchandise. All right, guys. That's going to be it. Till next time. Peace out.
See you guys.